Well, I think we should talk about what the hell are you guys watching? Because I just watched a little series. First off, I saw this post on Twitter by one of the guys who created and he wrote, Neil Druckmann's his name. He worked on The Last of Us. I think he was one of, if not the main creator for The Last of Us. And he put up this tweet saying, everyone go watch a Netflix series. It's kind of like a mini series. I'll explain in a second. It's like a mini TV show. I'll get there in a second. But it's called The End of the Effing World. I think that's the official title because it's FXXX. So it's like censoring fucking. And I think it's supposed to be Effing World. I could be totally wrong. Or you could just call it The End of the Fucking World. But he was not kidding. It's a good show. It's a real good show. There's a handful of cliches, but there's a lot of originality mixed in there. And if you're asking, what is it about? It's definitely a unique idea. I can't remember watching a show that's specifically like it, but it's about this young kid who thinks he's a serial killer because he can't, not a serial killer, but a psychopath because he can't feel anything at all. And he wants to kill his girlfriend. He meets this girl. This girl is also very troubled. She got a troubled home life. And his thing is he's going to get close to this girl and kill her. This is going to be his first victim because he wants to move up from killing animals to killing people. And that's the story. It's like a twisted love story, right? Well, you got to go watch it. Just with that premise alone, I don't want to dive in deep. And if you do go watch it and you're a fan of 12 Monkeys, there's a scene that leaped out at me. And I was like, wait a minute. They got to be showing or paying homage to 12 Monkeys. They gotta be. I'll just put it out there now. It's a wardrobe choice. There's a clothing choice for me that screamed 12 Monkeys. And then later on in the movie, it's almost identical to a scene, a specific scene in 12 Monkeys. Almost identical. And we might discuss this in a spoiler type of video. You know what? Let's wait for the end and discuss this. Anyway, so the end of the effing world. I don't know if you're going to see too well on my phone here, but that's the picture there. Go to Netflix. I just got this new phone, so I put Netflix on my phone, and that shit is the bomb because I was cleaning the house, doing dishes, cooking dinner, and I'm watching Black Mirror, which is another show, another bomb-ass show. This might be a little mini discussion about what to watch on Netflix. I miss the shit out of you guys, and when I'm busy and I'm, away, today I just said, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I don't do videos normally like this where I don't put images up. Well, no, I do a lot of videos like that, but you know what I mean. I didn't do an intro. I'm just talking with you. Like one friend to another, what are you watching? Because I don't think you should be watching what you're watching right now unless you're watching some of these. Or maybe you are watching something good, but here's some more recommends. Maybe I'll call this Ronnie Recommends. Anyway, Black Mirror is another really good show, and it's an anthology series where you can watch the episodes out of order because they don't connect to each other. And there are a lot of like twisted, warped shit. Like, for example, the one, actually, it's in a few different episodes, have this running, or mini, stories have this running theme. Remind me to get back to the end of the fucking world in a second because I skipped over something. But Black Mirror has this theme where you can clone your DNA in a way and put like a mini digital clone inside a program. And it thinks it's real. And you can torture it by, like in the one, they torture it by putting them in this area and letting it feel like 10 days go by, but 10 minutes goes by, and then they still are freaking out, so you make it feel like 10 years went by, and instead it was, an hour or something like that, because they speed up time, and the idea is to break them in order to do something. John Hamm is in that, and he's in great. He's in two of them, and I really, 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 really like John Hamm in both. One of my all-time favorites is White Christmas. There's another one that's a dating one and kind of like a love story. It's in the newer season, and I'm only on episode 6 in the new season. I think there's 8 or 9 episodes, and I'm loving every single one of them so far. And they are very, very, very different. There's some that's just like, I really enjoyed that, but it's nothing to blow your mind. There's one that's kind of in black and white, and it's post-apocalyptic, and it has a neat little idea. It doesn't blow me out of my socks, but it has a neat, simple little idea. So I highly, highly, highly recommend Black Mirror. The season 4 just dropped, and it has 3 seasons where The first season had like 4 episodes. The second season had like 3 episodes or something small like that. But it's worth a watch. I'm begging you, go check out Black Mirror. Absolutely worth a watch. And it is some twisted shit. I don't even want to say much about them because a lot of the big reveals or a lot of the oomph from Black Mirror deals with or comes from not getting a trailer, not knowing what's going to happen in this. Like, you start watching an episode and you're like, okay, here's a girl. Matter of fact, I think this is why I enjoyed them so much. Like, you get this episode and it's like, okay, here's a girl. Oh, she's speed dating with this guy. Oh, there's a weird speed dating, system set up. And then, oh my God, there's something with this environment they live in. They want to escape, but there's nothing on the outside. What is this shit? Like, it's some weird shit. Like, is this a post-apocalyptic world? Are they in this community where they got to find the ultimate match so that way they can have a family and they can't have any volatile families or broken homes because they need to repopulate the world? What's going on here? It's so it's so intriguing because of that aspect that you don't get a trailer that shows you 3/4 of the freaking movie in a 3 or 4 minute trailer, sometimes 5 or 6 minute freaking trailer. There's another one where you start out and people are going to different clubs, but you start noticing the same people going to these clubs are in an 80s club, a 90s club, 1960s club, and you start thinking like, holy shit, this is a time traveler? What is going on here? And a lot of it has to do with technology and just crazy, twisted, warped shit like that. That's very fun, interesting, intriguing, and the creativity that goes into Black Mirror makes it an anthology that's worth watching 100%, because a lot of anthology movies, shows, a lot of anthology anything, it seems like you have a couple good stories and there's filler all around it. A lot of them with Black Mirror is a home run. So highly recommend Black Mirror. Let me pick this up here. What else we got? The Punisher, if you haven't seen it. We'll do a little discussion maybe tomorrow about The Punisher. I do want to skim through a few episodes because The Punisher is the weird one where the acting is on point for the most part. They cast as one female, but I think that's because they just wanted to show some cute tits and ass. I really felt like the casting was misplaced. They didn't even need the sex scenes with her, and it just, with her or the dude, they could have had another aspect to it. Like, you got the buddy, the best friends becoming enemies type cliche, where you know it's going that direction the whole time. So before you say it's a spoiler, it's not. You know it from the very beginning. It's freaking obvious, so obvious it's painful. And then you have the girl aspect, and it's like, that does nothing. Even by the end, it's like, okay, so she screws up the whole friggin' series, and then it's like, anyway, check it out. So there's some holes in The Punisher, but I really love Jon Bernthal. He saves it. And him and his buddy, too, that one guy in there, they are a great team. So we got Stranger Things. I don't even need to recommend that. You need to be watching that. A lot of people recommend this Bright, and then a lot of people are hating on it. I haven't checked it out yet, but I do plan on checking it out. Ozark is one you really, really, really need to see. Ozark is similar in the vein of Breaking Bad, in a way. I will have to say, in the first episode, there's a scene where something happens where I'm like, oh, it's like splat. Oh, shit, I'm in for a wild ride. And then it slows down a bit, but it picks back up. I'm definitely interested in a season 2 for Ozark. The Vault, I just seen that with James Franco. I like James Franco. He's got good charisma, and I know nothing about that, so I do want to check it out. If you're into a darker Stranger Things, we got Dark. And I swear to God, this is not sponsored by Netflix. I was going to just talk about the end of the fucking world for just a minute or two and upload this video, but now I'm thinking about it. Let's run through a few because I'm getting a lot of questions. What do you watch, Ronnie? The Walking Dead is off. What do you recommend? Here we go. Dark is something I haven't seen yet. A lot of people tell me. It is German, though. They have it where you can, I believe, subtitles or audio that's dubbed over, and it's English dubbed over. Some people said it works for it. Some people said it works against it. But that is like a darker Stranger Things. So check out Dark on Netflix. Peaky Blinders, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead. Andrew Lincoln said this is one of his favorite shows. So I think that's Tom Hardy right there. And I was interested in Peaky Blinders. Oh, fun fact with The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead has Rick waking up out of a coma. A lot of people said that Kirkman took that from 28 Days Later, where Cillian Murphy, is that his name? He woke up, the guy in 28 Days Later, he woke up out of a coma, and the lead actor, I believe, in Peaky Blinders, well, I know he's the main actor for the first few seasons with Tom Hardy there. I don't know if they changed it or what, but he's actually the lead actor. And Andrew Lincoln, who now plays Rick Grimes, the guy who woke up from the coma, the guy who supposedly Kirkman took that from 28 Days Later, that's his favorite show. Went around in a little circle, but I love that. I probably wasted your time, but what is that, dope? Dope, bro. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, that's on there. Mindhunter. Mindhunter is about the FBI creating the system that profiles serial killers, and it covers the first ever serial killers that were interviewed and that were cataloged, and it shows that process. And I have to say, the ending is arguably underwhelming in a way, but it has one of the most tension-filled scenes. And if you don't watch the whole season, it's probably not going to have the same amount of tension in it. But the ending, the way they end it in the scene alone, it probably holds so much tension. I think that was one of my favorite parts. I like and dislike the lead. He seems so dull and bland, and in a weird way he has this charisma, and I feel like it would have been better if he shined through a little. However, the character is kind of dull and bland, and he's supposed to be that you know, he's closed off a bit, and he doesn't show the same type of human emotions that normal people do. He's weird, a little introverted, not a little, a lot introverted. I kind of wish they did a little more with his character, and yeah, just did a little more with his character, but maybe that's exactly what they were going for. So that's another one, Mindhunter. Check that out. What Happened to Monday was an interesting one. That's been on there a little while. There was another one here that now I can't find. Before I Wake, I think it's called. Oh, no, don't click on that. Get out of there. Let me scroll up here. I think it's called Before I Wake. Now I'm not seeing it. Wow. Wow. Netflix, come on, buddy. Get with the program here. Beginning of the Fucking World. The Office. No, get out of there. 30 Days a Night is on here. Go check that out. And it's not going to show up for me. What do you think about that? Yeah, Before I Wake right here. It's got a little kid in a tub. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about that. If you watched any of those, put down in the comments, what did you think about Before I Wake? 30 Days and Nights vampire show, movie, older one. Go check that out. And it looks like the Mist TV show if you're interested. I am not at all. Everything I heard about that is terrible. Train to Busan, one of my all-time, if not my all-time favorite zombie movie. Absolutely my all-time favorite modern zombie movie. Train to Busan. Love this. Gut-wrenching, heartbreaking. Absolutely love that. And then Narcos. If you haven't watched Narcos, Narcos is a great. I'm pointing to it like you guys can see the little picture. That's a great one. So right there's a lot of different. I'm trying to skim through here to see if there's any others that I would recommend right off the top of my head. Little Evil is about this kid that's like the son of the devil. I watched a few minutes of that. Not a few minutes, but a little bit of that. That was actually pretty good. But I didn't watch it all, so it could be a dumb one. Bloodline, the first season is probably one of the greatest seasons of a TV show ever. It's definitely in one of my top lists somewhere. So check that out. It goes downhill for 2 seasons a little bit, but it's still good. I still want another season. The 100, a lot of people tell me to get back into that. I watched the season 1 and 2, and I can't have it where everyone's fatally wounded and they survive in the next episode. It does nothing for me. They do all these scenes and moments, and it's all tense and suspense, you know. And it's for me, it's like I don't care. It does nothing for me because no one's really in danger. Now, people say it changed after around season 3-ish, but we will see. And then that's it. So that's all we're going to do. I do want to talk a little bit about spoilers real quick if you have a moment. It's about the end of the fucking world. If you watched it, stay tuned. If you haven't seen it, I'll just tell you this. It does feel, the one con about it that I should have mentioned before, it does feel like if you take an hour episode, because they're only 20-minute episodes, which is a shame, because if you take an hour-long episode, and you know, a lot of fans say, oh, this is filler, or that is filler. If you took all the filler out of an hour-long episode and you had a 20-minute episode, this is what it feels like. It feels like here's all the main moments in the episode, but it truly feels like you need more time for it to breathe. And it could have been even greater than what we have here. So if you go in to watch it, yes, there's some cliche moments. There's a lot of originality. There's a lot of hilarious moments. The one in the very beginning is just funny as hell. We'll talk about that in a second. So go watch that. We're going to talk about a couple spoilers. Please don't listen if you haven't seen it. You got to watch the end of the fucking world and then come back here and chit chat. So the one scene real quick that had me dying is when the chick goes, there's something about him. I feel safe and comfortable around him. And then he's kind of like smiling while he's sharpening a knife because he's planning on killing her. That was great. But the one thing that I thought was a callback or some kind of paying homage to 12 Monkeys, one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that movie growing up. When I was like 16, I must have watched it at least 40 times, 40 friggin' times. I'd come home, get some pizza, you know, on a Wednesday, a Thursday, and a Friday, and I'd watch it, you know, once each day, back to back. Love that frickin' movie. But in the 12 Monkeys, they go on the run, and she puts on a blonde wig and a trench coat, and he puts on like this, I don't even know what to call it, like an old man kind of, like if you're down in Florida, do they wear down in Florida? That's the kind of vibe it gets. Like if you're in a beach atmosphere and you got a palm tree type shirt, you know what I'm trying to say? A beachy type button down. Well, he dresses like that. She puts on a blonde wig. And then in this, they go on the run and she dyes her hair blonde. She has like that little cut and he puts on that type of shirt. And it's so freaking similar with how they show them. I just thought of, that was the first thing that popped in my head. And then later on, they did this where he dreams, I think it's in the last episode, he dreams he's running away, much like Bruce Willis's character in 12 Monkeys dreamt he was running away. And then when he was running away, before they did the gunshot in 12 Monkeys, you know, he did get popped, but in this, it goes black as you hear the gunfire. So you're like, is there a season 2? What did happen to him? It's kind of left almost in a way perfect. I do want to see what happens after this. But it is, in a way, kind of left a little bit perfect for what it needed to be. I do want a second season to that. I'm definitely interested to see what they would come up with. I kind of feel like it does feel like a full, complete story. I really wish a lot of the episodes had more to it to let it breathe. Instead of having a 20-minute episode, I think it would have done a lot better having 35, 40-minute episodes and had a little more character development, or even the character development that was in there. Let it breathe a little. So those are my recommendations. That's what I thought of The End of the Fucking World. It's definitely worth it. Go watch it. Go watch Black Mirror and everything else that I recommend. If you have anything new on 12 Monkeys, if you have anything new on Netflix, and if you've seen 12 Monkeys, that is an older one. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. I don't have any intro or end card. I'm literally running away from the computer right now. So I'm going to shut this down and then I'm going to go ahead and pop it up. But I definitely want to give a shout out to the patrons holding it down and you guys hitting that like button and the shares. We do have, hold on, I do got a couple patrons in the level 20 I want to shout out. Eddie Anglin Jr., James Dieter, Mark, and then another Mark Scott, Timothy LaQuery, did I say that right? Tracy L. Valey, I believe I said that wrong, but massive thank you, level 20 patrons and others. We got a stack of level 10. I'm going to put your names down in that video description, but thank you guys very much for the support on this channel. I definitely want to get back here soon. Got more videos coming. But for now, go watch those movies and put your thoughts and opinions, or TV shows. Put your thoughts and opinions down in the comment box. Let me know what you thought of them. Love you, and good night, and be safe.